Welcome
to weekly Forex forecast for the upcoming week from 18th of November till 22nd of November. So I'm going to do a complete multi-time frame analysis on DXY, Euro Dollar, GBP, USD, Dollar CAD, XAU USD, Dollar Yen GJ, as well as BTC USD and Ethereum USD. Now, after eventful past week, we are entering into another week where we have quite a few high impact news and expecting, as usual, high volatility in the market. So before I progress further with this weekly Forex forecast, traders, I would appreciate if you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. So without further delay, let's get started for this weekly Forex forecast. Okay, Data. So first let's begin with DXY, and then we also will be looking at other instruments, how they might be giving us trading opportunity in the upcoming week. So looking at DXY, looking at the monthly chart to see overall picture in the market. Now, monthly DXY is long-term bull market. We have seen that after previous monthly bullish candle formation, this month, after initial pullback, the price managed to bounce to the upside with a stronger momentum. Now, if we closely look at from the monthly perspective, we can see that this is a huge monthly bullish candle with a long wick at the top. Now, we are almost nearing to the another week of the month, and what I think that as it is a very strongly bull market, we can expect DXY to remain bullish, as this is the previous swing high, which is the resistance line. As it has grabbed the liquidity from the support, we might see now from the monthly perspective DXY to break this high and then to create a new higher high. If we look at the weekly perspective on DXY, we can see that from the weekly perspective also showing significant bullish momentum. From this level, we can see there is a strong bullish price action every week, creating series of higher high and higher low. Now, previous week, we saw a very strong bullish engulfer formation in this area that has given a momentum, and as a result, past week we saw that there was a bounce in this level with a very strong bullish price action. At the moment, what we can expect this week, what I think that we might see initial pullback and then continuation to the upside to create a new higher high. Now, dropping down to the daily on DXY, we can see that from the daily perspective, the trend is significantly bullish. Starting from this level, there is a very strong breakout followed by narrow to doji, another breakout followed by deeper pullback. Now, in this pullback, what we have seen, the market has broken from the structure, grabbed the liquidity, and has got a bounce to the upside. As it has a break of structure, grab the liquidity, we might see now further trend continuation in this market. Now, last day of trading week, we saw a candle that has crossed this low, which in fact grabbed that liquidity, again closed as a long wick candle, and which is a sign that the buyers are still active in this market. And in the upcoming week, we might see initial pullback and then to bounce back up to create new higher high. Now, looking at the intraday perspective on DXY, what we can see that from the intraday perspective, this is an important level of support here. And also we have seen a break of support with multiple liquidity candle formation. And what we could see, this is a resistance line. What I think that with the market open, we might see initial pullback, retest, or along the zone can expect another bounce to the upside in the upcoming week to retest this resistance or potentially breaking this high to create a new higher high. This could be the wave for the upcoming week on DXY. Now, based on that, let's look at most of the USD pair, how they might be doing, starting with the euro dollar, looking at the monthly chart to see overall picture in the market. Now, from the monthly, we can see that euro dollar also showing a significantly bearish price action. After this monthly drop, we can see there is another monthly bearish candle, and this monthly bearish candle, in fact, a very strong bearish price action. We can expect euro dollar for the market to initially to pull back in this upcoming week and then to continue to drop to create a new lower low. Now, if we look at the weekly chart on euro dollar, we can see that from the weekly, there is a breakdown here followed by pullback, and we have seen a bearish engulfer on the weekly, which has given a stronger momentum in this market. And we have seen there's a gap open with a long bearish candle on the weekly. Now, as the market is approaching this support level, what I think that this week we might see, after initial pullback, for the market to drop again to create a new lower low. Now, if we look at the daily chart on euro dollar, we can see that from the daily, this is also showing a strong bearish price action at the moment. We have seen multiple breakout from the structure, grab the liquidity, breakdown, again pullback, and we can see another breakdown. Last day of trading week, a long week doji formation on the daily. Now, this daily long week doji for me also potential bearish, as the market has crossed this high, form a long week candle, which might lead euro dollar to break down further to create a new lower low. As in this series of lower high, there is one candle has broken the high and has got a rejection, means that we might see further trend continuation on euro dollar. Now, based on that, on the intraday perspective, we can see multiple doji formation, expecting with the market open to initially bounce for a deeper pullback and then to continue to drop, even breaking this swing low before reversal or dropping further to the downside on euro dollar. Now, let's look at GBPUSD. Let's see what kind of price action we have. Looking at the monthly chart on British Pound US dollar, we can see that from the monthly, here is a big drop here on the monthly after the previous monthly bearish candle. This month, we can see that after initial pullback, we have seen another break towards the downside. Now, this is the monthly current candle, which in fact potentially showing potential drop here on the monthly. And what we can expect on British Pound US dollar for the market to drop down again further to this support level to create a new lower low. Now, if we look at the weekly chart on GBPUSD, we can see that from the weekly, this is pretty strong bearish price action. We can see from here a very strong drop followed by a pullback. Now, this pullback, we can see there is a long week candle formation with a strong liquidity grab. This is the weekly bearish engulfer that has given a very strong momentum for the past week. We have seen a complete break of a structure as expected, as predicted in our previous weekly Forex forecast. And what I think that now British Pound US dollar may continue to drop further to create a new lower low. Now, if we look at the daily chart, we can see that like the euro dollar, British Pound US dollar also bearish. Now, we can see that stronger bearish momentum on British Pound US dollar than euro dollar. We can expect initial pullback, but as what is dropping is likely to drop, that's the law of trading. We might see that British Pound US dollar keep pushing down to create a new lower low. Now, looking at intraday perspective from 4-hour time frame on British Pound US dollar, we can see that there is a multiple liquidity candle formation with a long week doji on British Pound US dollar. We can see there is a strong breakdown and expecting GBPUSD to bounce and for another deeper pullback and then to continue to drop to create a new lower low. Now, this could be the wave in the upcoming week on British Pound US dollar. Now, let's look at dollar CAD to see what kind of opportunity we have. Now, looking at the monthly chart on dollar CAD, we can see that from the monthly perspective, this is the monthly impulse on dollar CAD. Starting from here, there is a strong breakout, and with that breakout, this is the monthly candle so far, and we can expect for the market to continue to push to the upside to create a new higher high. Now, if we look at closely from the weekly, we can see that also after the previous weekly doji formation, the market managed to break out with a stronger momentum. Here is, we can see weekly impulse correction, and we can see that dollar CAD is in another impulsive phase. Now looking at the daily chart on dollar CAD, we can see that from the daily, this is a bull market starting from here, a very strong impulse followed by this correction, and we can see another impulse followed by deeper correction. And we can see that as it is a bull market, we can expect dollar CAD to come down for a deeper pullback. Last day of trading week, we saw a bullish narrow candle formation. Now in this upcoming week, any pullback to the daily support can give potential for further upside on dollar CAD. Now if we look at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that this market is trending, creating series of higher high and higher low. Now looking at the 4-hour time frame on dollar CAD, we can expect dollar CAD to come down for a deeper pullback and then to continue to rise to create a new higher high. Now let's look at XAU USD. Let's see what kind of trading opportunity we have in this market. Looking at the monthly chart on XAU USD, we can see that from the monthly perspective, we have seen there was a huge bounce on the monthly from this level and then followed by a pullback. We can see that another monthly impulse on XAU USD, and with this monthly impulse this month, we can see from this resistance line there is a complete breakup structure to the downside on the monthly. And what I think that as this market now started to drop, we might see further drop as we could see deeper pullback in this market, as we have seen quite a few months of a strong momentum, expecting XAU USD coming down for a deeper pullback. Now looking at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly, we can see this market now currently below the support level. We have seen very strong breakup structure. If we look at the order block on the weekly time frame, this is the order block where we have seen the previous resistance turn support here, and we have seen there was a long week doji from the weekly. The market was forming series of higher high and higher low in this long-term uptrending market, and we have seen that there is a doji formation in that area on XAU USD. Now with the doji, past week we saw a bearish candle formation. Now this week we might see initial pullback as the price below this weekly support level, expecting for XAU USD to bounce and then to continue to drop. And I think that in the first move we can expect now the price to come back to that support level. If we look at the daily chart on XAU USD, we can see that from the daily, the market was forming series of lower high every single day, which is a very strong downtrend. And at the same time, we can see the price tested this support, which is turning resistance here from the daily time frame, expecting XAU USD to bounce. And as you can see, this is the daily resistance back to back to daily high here, which both of them are important. And I think that we might see XAU USD going back up to retest and then to continue to drop again to create a new lower low. Now from the intraday perspective, we can see multiple doji formation creating series of lower high in this market. So as soon as we see the price initially bounce, and I think that we might see initial bounce in this market, we can expect XAU USD to come back down to create a new lower low. This is where we can look for potential selling opportunity on XAU USD. Now let's look at yen pair. As first day of trading week, we see tomorrow coming up yen news, and we can look for potential trading opportunity in this instrument. Looking at first of all dollar yen, looking at the monthly chart to see overall picture in the market. Now from the monthly, we can see that this is the monthly an impulse on dollar yen, followed by this is the monthly candle. So far a bullish price action, expecting dollar yen to retest this support and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. Now if we look at the weekly chart on dollar yen, we can see that from the weekly, this is the bullish price action we have seen after this massive liquidity grab, a bounce followed by pullback. And after back-to-back two narrow weekly doji formation, we have seen that dollar yen had a bounce again. Now this is the weekly candle where we can see that there is a support here, and with that support, what we can expect on dollar yen for the market to retest and then to continue to rise again to create a new higher high. Now dropping down to the daily chart on dollar yen, we can see the last day of trading week there is a breakdown here, which what I think that in fact a deeper pullback, and we can expect after further pullback for the market to continue to rise again. As if we look at the weekly chart, we can see that this is the weekly support where the previous weekly low. Any pullback to the downside can give further upside on dollar yen. Now if we look at the 4-hour time frame, we can see that there was this is a huge liquidity grab here from this long bearish engulfer followed by a narrow doji formation, which in fact can give dollar yen further downside here, expecting dollar yen to drop again to the support level, as this is an order block in this area, and we can see that there was an inverted head and shoulder formation breakout trending, creating series of higher high and higher low, and currently the market is breaking below. We can expect for this market to retest this order block and then to continue to the downside upside on dollar yen. That could be the wave for the upcoming week on dollar yen. So as it is a long-term bull market, we will be looking for potential bullish trading opportunity. Now let's look at GBPJPY. Let's see what kind of opportunity we have. Now looking at the monthly chart on GBPJPY, we can see that from the monthly, this is a long-term bull market as well. We have seen that it was forming a very strong bullish impulse followed by this correction, and we can see another impulse followed by deeper correction. Now in this long-term bull market, we can see the price, this is a support level here. We have seen a complete break below to the support, and from that level we can see the market form series of higher low in this market on GBPJPY. And what we can see that this is the monthly price action initially has dropped here, and what we can expect for the market, what I think that initially we could see further downside and then continuation to the upside to create a new higher high. Now if we look at the weekly chart on GJ, we can see that from the weekly perspective, back-to-back 3 weeks of bearish move after this impulse, that can give again further probability after deeper drop here, another bounce on GJ in the upcoming week. But initially we might see further downside, as this is an important support. We have seen double doji formation breakout, and as the market managed to break to that support level, we might see a retest of this support level here before moving back to the upside. Now if we look at the daily chart, we can see that it was in a very strong uptrending market. There was a complete break of structure. What I think that this week we might see further drop before it bounce back up to create a new higher high. Now looking at the intraday perspective on GBPJPY, we can see that there is a downtrend here, creating series of lower high formation on GJ, and what we can expect for this market for the price initially to drop again, break below any of these swing low, as there is a liquidity here, and we can expect later to bounce back up. So initial drop and then bounce expected on GBPJPY. Now let's see what's happening with the cryptos. As you can see, BTCUSD was extremely bullish in the upcoming weeks and days. Now looking at the monthly chart on BTCUSD, we can see that from the monthly, this is the monthly impulse, and this is a very organized bullish market structure on BTCUSD. Starting from here, there is a bounce followed by, we can see that there is a bull flag here that has broken below on the monthly, which is a typical liquidity grab with this bull flag on BTCUSD, and followed by, we can see that there is a breakout on this market. Now if we closely look at, we can see that this is the monthly candle so far, expecting BTCUSD to come down for a deeper pullback and then to continue to rise again. If we look at the weekly chart on BTCUSD, we can see that from the weekly perspective, previous weekly candle, which in fact had a huge liquidity flow. If we look at our indicator, we can see that this is the weekly candle that has given a huge momentum on BTCUSD. As a result, we can see the market in fact managed to break out in this weekly perspective, expecting for the market to come down for a deeper pullback and then to continue to rise to create a new higher high. Now dropping down to the daily chart on BTCUSD, now this is the weekend candles. We can see low volatility that might give another momentum with the market open. As we can see that from the daily, it's in a very strong bull market. There is a consolidation here, expecting for the market to break below further with the weekend closure, and expecting for the market to bounce back up to create a new higher high in BTC USD. Now let's look at Ethereum USD. Now looking at the monthly chart, we can see that from the monthly, Ethereum as well in a very strong bullish trend, and we have seen that there is a breakdown here. Grab the liquidity from this support, the market forms series of higher low, followed by this is the monthly candle, which in fact the price currently closing with a strong bullish momentum on Ethereum USD. Now looking at the weekly chart, we can see that from the weekly perspective, this is where there was a long consolidation with a strong bullish candle breakout, followed by this is the resistance here, turning support here on Ethereum USD, and expecting for the market to drop further and then to bounce back up to create a new higher high. Now if we look at the daily chart on Ethereum USD, we can see that from the daily, this is an impulse here, a huge impulse on this market, followed by pullback. And with that pullback, this current daily candle again, we can see as soon as it's dropping down, getting a rejection, which is a sign that the bulls are still strong in this market. Now looking at the intraday perspective, we can see the trend is very strong, followed by this breakdown can give a bulls confidence for further opportunity in this market. So any drop, we see that this is a bull flag. The market is still didn't grab enough liquidity, and I think that later today we might see an initial drop that can give a potential bullish opportunity on Ethereum USD. Traders, I believe that you enjoyed this weekly Forex forecast. If you find value in it, make sure you give a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Thank you, and I'll see you soon in my next analysis.